Welcome to TVG99 Options Matrix Trading System. Unique, interesting, and powerful cash flow generator. Now, this is an options trading system brought to you by OptionsTradingAuthority.com. Okay, this is a very cool system, and it's very profit point prolific. Well, I can't promise you future results, but this is a very solid long-term type of concept that is very interesting, and it provides a potential, an opportunity for you to start trading if at the very least looking into learning the system and starting trading with maybe one contract of options. Just put it to work and see. I don't know where you're starting. But what I've learned over time is that talking and thinking, only doesn't really bring home much profit. And then also just talking and thinking about these various systems versus putting them to action kind of gets us to forget about these systems. And then just talking and thinking only without putting the system to action has us missing out on potential compounding, which can be dramatic with options. So I just want to put that out there as well, that, whether you use one of our systems or you make your own, or maybe, someone else has a good one out there. Okay. The key tip for the day would be to put it to work, even if it's just with one contract, and that's smart. With money, we really can't rely on our feelings, all right? We have to be very cerebral in order to become successful with money. And it's just how it is for most of us. Now, different people have different scenarios. And of course, I'm not talking about inheritance or luck. You know what I mean? But even the inheritance people and the luck people, they still need to learn how to deal with money, separating out the cerebral versus the emotions, or they will likely lose all of their money. So therefore, practice the cerebral execution of the high probability money making, growing, and compounding actions by using one of these trading systems. It's the practicing of the mentality of correct execution that will also cross apply to other aspects in life, to other money endeavors, or to just how things work in terms of success and other things. All right, because there are certain rules and laws of how, the universe, if you want to use that term. So some people like it, some people don't. But just, how the physical order, you could say, is designed, and, and so we want to coordinate with that, with that to do well. Now, speaking of the physical universe or how things are designed, price action, meaning the buying and selling reactions in the marketplace, have certain behavioral patterns, certain net behavioral patterns that show on price charts. And so we are able to look at these price charts and see these tendencies and patterns and be able to, if you want to use that word, predict, although we're not really into prediction, but you can identify high probability scenarios for future projection in price, or at least future movement in a certain direction, or even forget the direction. We can play any direction with options, and just as long as we are in a high probability point of some action, we can still make a lot of money. Do you know that? Well, we can do that with a directional mechanic, meaning that we can put ourselves in front of these chart scenarios that are about to happen with a trigger that will capture a move in a certain direction, and then have a certain rule to capture it in the other direction if it has a reversal. You can approach it that way, or of course there's the concept of strangles and straddles. But this is not a strangle or straddle system. We don't need that. We can play the direction, and we can keep hitting these trades and ding, 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 ding like a cash machine. And so before I talk too much while you're staring at the logo of this, it's not even the full logo. Look at that part up there. Okay. Let's go look at some systems performance. Here, these are based on the system rules. Here's the original. Okay, everything was rounded just for ease of calculation and presentation, but also rounded down, looking to take in some slippage and some extra time decay. That said, we have a time decay concept, average time decay, factored into the options, approximate options trading profit points here versus the stock points. Now, this is an options trading system, okay, so it's not really a stock trading system, and so therefore, the stock trading points is used to calculate and determine to present the options points, okay, but you can't. I mean, you could, but it doesn't really make a lot of sense to trade the system with stocks, but it does make a ton of sense to trade this with options. And so you can see the accumulation of profit points. Now, what we need to figure out with this, with these Excel calculations, maybe in the future, is how to start with the actual money base, okay, and then bring that on up. But wherever you start is wherever you start, and you can see these examples here: 10 contracts, 100 contracts, and 1,000 contracts. Okay, so you can look over here on the right, and you can see how the growth can happen if you traded 10 contracts at a time, for example. With these options points from over here. So now, what was missing on this picture here is the start time, which is 2018 January. So this is a year and 5 months, because a bunch of these tracks were just pumped out at the same time. Okay, so you'll see a lot right now, the new systems from 2018 to May 2019, and then we'll look to add over time, as we see fit. But already this example takes up a lot of space, because here are the charts we've started making from these data tables. Okay, you can see 10 contracts and options. And you can see the growth represented. You can see the profit numbers on the left. 100 contracts and so on. 1,000 contracts. So really, you can see the visual, which is always cool. Okay, you want to see these types of growth curves on a trading system. You want the system to keep progressing on upwards, right? So that's a nice thing. But you can see that the harder numbers over here. And so, you start somewhere and then look to get up, depending where you're starting, get up to 100 contracts, and then you get up to 1,000 contracts and so on. But you have to learn the money management principles in order to do that correctly, okay, in order to handle all the trades, profits and losses. So you can see the nature of the system. It's pretty prolific. Takes a good number of trades, and you just keep on stacking it up, okay. So this is a great system to add to your arsenal, and to also consider into a new trading account, maybe, or even after you learn the system and you really like it and you start running it and you see that, hey, this is really great, you start believing in it, then may want to start your own trading company, just with this system, okay. And you can do that with other systems, and maybe think more this way in a business-like type of way, and maybe that will help versus just winging it. Okay, no more winging it. It's a waste of time and money, right? And then also, a lot of people I mean, they're just persistent on wanting to prove themselves to be able to predict the future. It's super common, okay? But it's a super big mistake. And you folks who are stuck on that way of thinking, you are giving all the rest of us who look to trade cerebrally, as I mentioned before, and systematically, and even strategically, your money. Okay, so thank you. Or if you want to get on a professional side, then you'll look to put a system, and you'll stop wasting your time. You'll look to put a system to work, and you'll stop wasting your time trying to prove yourself to have some sort of superpower in order to figure out where the stock's going to go. All right. So I don't know if various professional firms put out the various media in order to brainwash people into thinking that way. Maybe, I don't know. But if you try to trade by feel, now intuition is something else, but that's hard to access. Okay, it's super hard to access. But if you're trading by feel or trading by your thoughts, you're just not going to do very well in the marketplace. It's a waste of time and money, and you're missing out on future compounding. So, as another tip of the day, don't do that anymore. Okay, put something smart to work. Get one of our systems. You can make your own, whatever. But just from some experience of mine and others, look to put something to work. Keep simple, keep small. Don't try to go too fast. Let the compounding grow you fast over time instead of trying to push too aggressively. And you can put yourself in a great position for future success. So I hope that this video has helped. And this is an awesome system. I look to put it to work. Of course, we're not putting out systems here for nothing. We put these out here to give you maybe a better chance of success. But you have to do the good and the right things to put yourself in this high probability position for winning. All right, that's about it. Thanks.